Hey. Hello, everybody. This is Eliz-Sha Keating for wisdomseekers.net. And if you want any readings, please come to me directly because our PayPal is messing up as per usual. and we have today with us Maddie with the red hair. Hello, everybody. This is Eliz-Sha Keating for wisdomseekers.net. What are you doing that? If you want any readings, please come to me directly because our
Hear an
PayPal.
echo?
Yeah, no, that's my phone, but I think, but I don't know what the heck's happening.
We have
Because
today with us Maddie with the red hair.
okay, I found it. Never mind. There. I never know when it's going to come on and when it's not. I don't know why. Because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So Maddie's got the red hair. Say hi, Maddie.
Hi.
And Sabie, her hair's
She's got the gray hair.
okay, great. I wasn't going to go there.
Salt and pepper.
Yeah, and Melanie's on top with a pretty flowered dress.
Hello.
It is pretty.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's me. I'm Eliz-Sha.
No one knows what you look like, Mom.
Well, that doesn't, there might be new people. There might be new people. Sometimes we get new people. So today we will answer questions, but they have to be really, really fun and exciting because this is not an interactive. Hey, Skyla. What we're going to do is basically talk about spiritual stuff that's happening because the equinox for 23 is today, and it's also in some parts of some people believe the new year. So new energy's coming in, and I know personally I have been feeling the new energy coming in, and it is driving everybody just a little bit insane.
And new moon tomorrow.
The new moon tomorrow, which is a really good day to start new things, right? What do you call it? What are they calling this new moon?
You know what? There's so many names to it. There's so many names to it.
Okay.
It's
It's the syrup moon too, isn't it?
well,
The sugar moon.
Yes,
sugar moon.
Yes.
It's the worm moon. It's the seed moon. It's the. There's just so many names out there for it.
There's anything to do with wolves?
No, I don't think there was anything to do with wolves. Not
Okay.
this one. I think the wolf moon was last month.
Okay, so it must be something to do with bears though, right, Melanie? Because the bears are coming out of hibernation about now.
Well, it has to do with everything coming back to life because it's at the beginning of a new cycle.
Yeah.
That's the equinox. That's spring equinox. So it's about we talked about how the energy has been driving everybody crazy, but that's because it's letting go of that old energy to make room for new energy. So it's new things. It is a new year. You could say that it is a new year because it's new plants are growing. There's new life coming. Bears are coming out of hibernation. So there's a whole lot of new coming. And it's the same for us, like the energy wise, and so letting go of that old energy. And there's going to be that chaos, that chaotic energy that's going to come in to push you to get rid of that so that you can bring on that new energy.
I've heard a lot of stories the last week about coyotes, and they're both very similar. So like the other day, my daughter was driving, she lives in Edmonton, and there's a park, and she was driving along this dog park, and she saw these two dogs running along, joyful, having fun. And she pulled over to rescue them so that the owners could get them. And then she gets there and she realized they're two coyotes. And the other one was a friend of mine in Hollywood. She was walking her dog and she sees this pup running down the street, happy as a lark, without any owner and anybody. And she looks at it, she too thinks she's going to go save it. And all of a sudden she says to her friend, "Pick up your dog. Let's cross the street." It was a coyote pup. But they're all joyful and happy.
Yes, coyotes are playful, but they're also
Tricksters.
very tricksters. Yes.
Yeah, they're dangerous.
They are. Well, they're wild animals, you know.
Well, they're in the Indian, pardon me, Native American tradition, the coyote is like Loki, or what's the other trickster gods?
Kitsune.
The kitsune in the Japanese, where they'll pull the rug over your eyes, and if you fall for it, then okay, they're going to do it. But if you don't, well, okay, because you've learned the lesson. They're just teaching you whether you've learned the lesson or not.
Well, they're swift. They're very intelligent, but they are tricksters. Yes.
They're very, and they're also herd animals, group, herd, not herd. They're pack animals.
Pack animals.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's, to me, they're very symbolic of humanity right now, with the trickster energy and the pack energy working together to get things going and stuff like that. Tay says, yes, the energy has been very difficult to deal with, and she has a crying, laughing face. Yes, it has been. I know, because I wake up in the morning, I go to bed at night, and I'm talking to people, and it's been
It's that song of I wake up in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high and I scream at the top of my lungs, what's going on?
Does scare the neighbors.
So was there more? Did you have more to add, Maddie, for the new year, a new moon?
Oh, did I even start anything? Well, it's just a bit of a write-up on the equinox and the moon, and Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, so of course we're going into, and that's why everybody says it's a new year. It's because Aries is the beginning of the zodiac sign, so it's a new start. It's the sign of the warrior, signifying the uprising of new life, desire, impulse, drive, and action.
The warrior. Okay, that makes sense, because the astral butterfly said we're going from the time when the powers that be are losing their voice and the people are regaining their voice.
Yeah.
Alphabet, we're not going to answer a question like that. I'm sorry. Tay has been extra tired and sore lately. I don't know anybody that's not tired and sore right now.
It's all that energy that's moving through. It's
Well,
gonna
you know,
make
I
you more
had 9
tired.
hours sleep and I woke up and I went, I'm going back to sleep. I didn't, but I wanted to.
Yeah.
How do you say? I've been starfishing.
Really?
Starfish. Just don't move around.
Oh,
Yes. Well, you know, I'm lucky I could do that outside. Just lay there and do nothing. But you know, we all need to do that too, because of all that chaotic energy that's coming through that we need to get rid of. It's important to take extra care of yourself during those times, so that you can have that new energy come in, and then, you know, it's like a calm before the storm. And because you're gonna get busy. It's not necessarily a storm, but you're gonna get busy with the new energy coming in too.
yeah. And the thing is, when we pull this stuff out, one of the things when I work with people, I always suggest, when you pull that energy out, also clean the area around, so that when the new energy comes in, there's not the old energy
Fresh.
to deal with. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Very important to do cleansing.
yeah. And it's funny talking about sleeping. Everywhere I look on YouTube or the TikToks, or they're all the articles I'm saying is, you need to sleep 8 hours a day. And I'm going, I wish. So how many of you get 8 hours of sleep a day?
I sure do.
You do. You're lucky. What about you, Matt, Sabie?
Anywhere from 5 to 7.
Yeah.
Same, about 5 to 7.
5 to 7. 7 isn't so bad.
But it's interrupted. My sleep gets interrupted a lot. That's one of my, I guess that's a big issue for me, I said I'll wake up like 5 times a night. Even if it's just go to the bathroom, it disturbs your sleep. So it's like
Yeah.
having to restart the whole sleep cycle again.
You haven't got that deep REM
That
period
REM
that you're
sleep,
going
yeah.
into.
Yeah.
Mine lately has been my dog, but he's barking to go out in the nighttime. I think he has tummy issues, but last night was just once, and it was like, oh, this is bliss.
Do you see all those slits in there? That's my sleep cycle.
My dog, she barks at everything. She's a very good bark dog. I'll ask you a couple of questions about her at another time.
Okay, anytime, Melanie.
Anytime. Isn't she a Chinese
dog? Yes.
Dog? But she was a palace guard dog.
Yes, that's pretty much that's her breed.
Yeah, so that's part of her
So
personality.
that's her job.
Yeah.
That's
Don't
her
think
job.
that's gonna change, no.
No, well, she's 7 years old too, and we're her third family. But we're keeping her. We're not, you know.
She feels like a puppy.
She is like a puppy.
Yeah.
Her behavior is like a puppy, but she's very, very sweet. But she's very she cannot be around other dogs because she's very aggressive with other dogs, and
okay,
it's part of her protection. Just part of her protecting.
Yeah.
And she knows she's found her forever home too. She knows you guys are not sending her away.
She's happy. She ran off with a strange man's flip flop the other day. She stole.
Well, I would too.
She stole his. She stole his flip flop and ran back into the house. I had to chase her into the house and get the shoe away.
Well, that's hilarious.
Let's go for a holiday, Sabie. We'll chase flip flop. You'll chase flip flops.
That would be and you could film it. It'll be great, Maddie.
Yeah, film it and put it on TikTok.
Me and the dog. At least we'll get a pair then.
As long as they're left and right.
Right.
Okay, Jennifer wants to know, the spirit see anything changing in my lesson that want me to be prepared for. So we're not actually doing readings right now. We're mostly talking about the new year. If you get a really interesting question, we'll do it. But these the questions we've got up right now. I'll be back on in a few days. We'll answer them those kind of questions then. All right.
Except for the Lindsay Lohan bit being on drugs. No.
We don't do third. We don't
care enough.
We don't do third party questions, honestly.
And we don't care.
Well, it's not that. It's not our. We just we don't have we don't have the authority, or we have got the permission to do third party questions.
I'm more, we don't care about the actors, period.
Yeah.
I think it's that same person back again.
No, it's a different one. But we
different
just
name maybe, but I think it's the same person that
it possibly is. We just don't do third party questions. Anyhow, I've said that 3 times. Let's move on. So what's Charlie doing? We've talked about dogs. What's Charlie doing, Maddie?
Oh, I don't know. I just keep my bedroom door closed till night. It doesn't bother me. Except when I get up. I have a video. I've actually taken a video of him, how he jumps up and hits me constantly until I actually give in and give him treats or pet him, or I don't know. It's always different every time. Or he wants me just to follow him down where his food is so I can scratch his butt while he eats.
Yeah, that's a cat.
He wants what he wants.
He does, and he's very insistent when he wants something. I mean, he doesn't stop. He doesn't stop. He doesn't stop meowing. He doesn't stop hitting me. He doesn't stop.
Yeah.
So it's way easier for me to just give in to him 15 times a day. Than to
He knows that.
I know he knows that.
And I don't have to be an animal communicator to know that.
Which
He
I'm
has
really
you well trained.
surprised that they don't bug you for the treats when you're watching them.
They
Because
ignore me for the first day or two, for the most part. Then they start coming out.
Yeah, mostly when you
they'll
when
sit
you
in front of
babysit.
where the fridge is and they'll look up at the treats and then he gets picky, if you can believe it. I have got two different sets of treats. One has a red top, one has a blue top. If I put the blue top down and he doesn't want them, oh, he won't eat them. They'll sit there for days. He'll sit there and stare at that fridge and meow until I take down the red topped one.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
He's such a brat.
So Melanie, you have your feet in two countries right now.
I do.
How do you find the difference between Ottawa and where you're living right now?
Besides the weather.
Besides the weather, yeah, we know the weather up here is cold and down there it's hot.
When I left Canada, people, the energy was so heavy that it was very much unbearable. Um, it's almost like Ottawa was in the bubble of a different kind of energy, I would say. A lot of people were very unhappy. You could see the stress and being empathic. If you're living in Ottawa, it can be very, very difficult for especially for people who don't know how to process that energy. Um, it's my understanding that it has not changed very, very much. Um, I'll have to see when I go visit. And from what I'm getting is that there's still big struggles over there.
Well, there's a lot of the
Oh, you see, I lived right near the government, the parliament
CCP.
too. Well, and I lived right near the parliament, so it's like the hub of.
Yeah. So, but I do know that there's a lot of, because I follow it a lot, and there's a lot of the woke prime minister. The prime minister is very woke,
Mhm.
and that's actually starting to lose power.
Yes.
And because of that, there's a lot of things that are happening that are putting him in a corner. One of the things I found really exciting was that in the Netherlands, who is also a WEF country, the farmers have created a new political party, and they won so much so that they're the leading in the House now. So they're going to start changing the WEF
Politics.
politics.
Well,
So
and now,
how is it different from where you from Ottawa to where you are right now?
the people are very different. It's lighter here. There's a lot of energy, a lot of things going on. So much so that so you can even see odd UFOs. The skies here are very clear. The veil here it's thin. The energy is much thinner.
It's because people are down there believe more openly in spirituality.
Yes, and people are more together too. Like there's how maybe 20 years ago we used to all know our neighbors and our neighbors, and well, it's like that here. People haven't lost those connections. I was in Ottawa. People don't know each other anymore, so there's a lot of lost connection. So it's like wires were cut. If you can understand that,
Well,
like
divided.
wires were cut, and you need exactly. As in here, you still have that strong connection between people.
But you live on a street where everybody's related to everybody.
Yes, yes, it's all cousins and cousins, aunties, uncles, like the entire neighborhood, which is very nice because it keeps your connections close.
And can
But
you
every
imagine the street parties?
yes, and there's a lot every weekend. From Friday to Sunday, if you want to go dancing somewhere, there's always a street party. There's always an event somewhere.
And
Always
everybody's
and the
sitting out in
people
the
are,
street talking and drinking.
yeah,
That
and people
sounds
are
lovely.
happy. You know, they're yeah, you know, people work. They're a hard worker. They work very, very hard.
Yeah, that's one
But
thing
you know,
I can
they
vouch
give
for. They
back.
work hard.
Yeah, and they're very happy. As in, you know, you see in Ottawa, people work, go home, or do the online work for some, but people are miserable.
So you
And
realize we're all going to
it's a
go down
real.
and live with you, right? If you keep on talking like
You're
this.
all welcome to.
I'm sure the weather has a lot to do with that. When you're stuck in your house
Weather,
7 because it's so freaking cold out all the time, who wants to go out and have a block party with your neighbors?
Yeah, but the
that's true. But you
Mexicans
know
are
what? You
different
used to
people, right?
have,
Sorry, go ahead. She froze.
but also you. Oh, I'm cutting.
You
You
froze.
used to group, for example.
Okay,
Oh,
you're frozen. Just hang on for a minute. That spirit, Sabie, talk.
I do know, like when I was growing up, we used to, every week, the community hall would have a dance, like for all ages. And yeah, everybody knew everybody. I mean, as kids, if we were hungry, we would go into the next door neighbor or the Arnold's place and grab a banana, or like, it was just the way it was, right? I mean, I do know my neighbors, but I've lived in places where I haven't known the people who live next to me.
I purposely don't get to know my neighbors, but I live in a townhouse, which is cheek by jowl, right? So I personally, I know them, just I say hi to them,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't get to know them because I'm not really good at the drama.
but it used to be like where people, like even in bad weather, people would go and play cards or play board
Mm-hmm.
games together and still have a certain interaction.
More
I
of a
don't really see
community.
that anymore.
Yeah. I think that's what I was saying. I don't remember when I was saying it, but I think that's what we're heading back to, the smaller groups of people, but it'll be a natural thing rather than a man-made government ordered thing. That we do get back and have a small community. I grew up in Canoe actually when I was young. And it was very, very small. I grew up there before they had paving on the main street.
Well, it's still pretty community minded.
Yeah, it is. I loved Canoe.
Yeah, and and I personally wouldn't mind living there again or someplace similar. But it's grown quite a bit, hasn't it, Maddie? There's a lot more houses up on the hill and everything.
Yeah, they put a few more up there. They just gave the okay for some stupid big condo right on Canoe Beach Drive for that big empty
Oh,
lot.
the Mayo field, the mayonnaise field.
Yeah, so last fall we went in and took out all of the beautiful trees that were there. There was wild raspberry trees. There were trees that the hummingbirds would nest in, which will be no more because there's no more trees. They took them all out.
But
And
it's
whoever
also
lives,
swampy.
pardon?
It's also swamp.
Well, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know how they're going to do it. And I'm kind of hoping that their plans fall through because it would really be a crying shame to have a 3-story building there.
Well, yeah, that it's all depends on how much they spend.
Mm.
So let's go back to the new year. I like what you were saying, Melanie, about fresh energy coming in, and I like what Astral Butterfly was saying, that now we're going to start seeing people, the power returning to the people. What do you see? How do you see that? And then Sabie, Maddie. Sabie can answer and give Melanie
Yes,
time to think.
not frozen?
No?
No, you were just
No.
thinking, and I just thought, I keep asking you always the first time, so I thought maybe I should ask Sabie first. Put her on the spot.
How do I see the new year coming in? I really do feel that people are becoming more in tune with each other and with spirituality.
We're waking up.
Yeah. People who before, if I started talking to them about something out of the norm, would just kind of, stare at me blankly or get up and walk away, are actually coming to me and asking me questions about things that have happened to them, or what these energies are, why are they feeling this way and stuff. So I do see a lot of awakening. We have been in a really, as Melanie said, depressive, almost battle kind of realm lately. And I think that's going to continue a little while longer, but I feel it getting lighter. I feel people opening up a bit more. And I mean, we're not going to win this through a battle. It's got to be an understanding and a
grassroots.
Yeah.
So like what happened in Russia, how they became Russia again was.
Oh my.
You've got
My
some exciting
computer is doing all kinds of things.
Yeah, that's kind of fun. So in Russia, they had the news at 5 o'clock every day, and the news was propaganda. Everybody knew the news was propaganda, so they went and walked their dogs, and they started talking to each other, and that's how Russia turned back into Russia rather than the USSR, because it was a grassroots. We don't want this anymore, and that's what we have to do if we want it to work. Before we go on, Maria Herrera has a good question. She says, it's my birthday season, Aries. What can people of the sign, what can people of this sign, what can we expect in the form of energy? Aries themselves. Aries is it's a tough sign, I think, right? Who knows anything about Aries?
My youngest is an Aries.
Yeah.
And my mother was an Aries.
So they're tough people, aren't they?
Aries, this is what this says. Aries is a masculine fire sign associated with action. Yet at this new moon, the feminine energies are equally highlighted. Mars consort Venus, goddess of love, is strong in her own sign, Taurus, and allowed powerfully with relationship asteroid Juno and the moon's north node of destiny and development.
They are very stubborn and very, very adventurous at the same time. You don't kind of picture those two together, but yeah.
Makes sense though that Aries would also see the influx of the male energy again. So
that is so cool.
That's pretty cool. Can you hear it all, Maddie? Can you hear it all, Melanie?
I can hear a little bit. It cuts in and out, and my screen is kind of acting out a little bit. It says my bandwidth is low.
Your screen looks fine right now, but
that's since while you guys were talking, I get a lot of visions of.
Oh shoot! Dang.
Can I venture a guess here that might be my daughter visiting us because she is associated with butterflies and blue.
Okay, yeah. So Melanie, Maddie says that's her daughter visiting because she has blue and butterflies are her things. What you froze at? I get lots of visions of. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Chrysalis opening up, lots of blue monarch butterflies. A lot of
monarch. Okay, isn't that what, Maddie? You want to get a blue monarch put on your tattoo?
I'm not sure if I'm getting blue or black yet.
Okay, so blue is an unusual color for a monarch
monarch.
butterfly because they're gold and black, right?
Yes, or orangey and black.
Yeah. So blue, is that the color? Would that be the masculine energy coming in, do you think?
It's a beautiful blue, like a sea blue. Beautiful sea blue, bright, beautiful sea blue. Almost like neon like.
Okay. I'm not getting anything. Usually I do. Sabie?
I do. It's just right there on the edge. It's I think
It's quite
part of
beautiful.
what you're seeing is maybe this new thing opening up, right? We're talking about people becoming closer and kind of a rise of the grassroots and going back to times when people helped one another, didn't just kind of walk past and ignore what was happening. Which, I mean, that's a perfect example of rebirth, right? The butterfly cocoon and opening up into this beautiful, electric, vibrant animal, right? That's my take on it anyway.
I like that.
Yes, that's what a lot of new.
Mm-hmm.
Blue is a healing color though, too. Green and blue are quite often healing color. Well, blue, green, and pink are healing colors. So so blue would be a healing of the energies, I would think, as well.
Which we all need.
We all need very badly. Every male on the earth needs acceptance. Every female in the earth needs to accept the male part of them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like it. What do you get, Maddie?
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
New energies, lots of new energies coming in, new beginnings. Good time to do your manifestations too.
that's true.
Yeah, watch those.
Yes, be careful what you ask for. You might get
Be
it.
very direct.
It's funny. There's two things about manifestations. When you want, when you, for instance, this woman, she said she described the man to a T, but she didn't describe the kind of hair the guy was supposed to have. So he came in with bald. So yes, be very careful what you ask for.
Right?
But at the same time, you want it open-ended so that so if something better comes along. So how do you do that? You want to do it right. So you want it open-ended and specific. But
With that, just bring in someone that'll make you happy, make your heart sing.
well, I always figure if a guy is bald, he's got lots of testosterone, he should make your heart sing. But yeah, that's what
And
I
if you
do.
ask, and if you're asking for the energy, the type of energy that of like learning or lessons or seeing, slow and steady, not all at once.
Well, the slower you go, the faster you arrive with spirituality. That is something I have noticed
Yes.
over the years. Hey, B. B's back in. Yeah, what do I say? Ease and grace. Ease and grace. I always ask with ease and grace, slow and steady, ease and grace. Because I have seen people ask for a fast forward, and I think I don't remember who was on with us. I think it was Nicola and I can't remember. And the person says really fast, and both Nicola and I go, no.
I think that was
Because we know if you ask for fast, you're going to get fast, and it could just about kill you. But yeah, ease and grace. So I've got okay, I'm running out of things. Somebody talk.
Well, I think for me, I was trying to manifest a way not to work so much. So I kind of got a health issue. So I can't work so much. That's why I said you gotta kind of streamline that a little bit.
Yeah. But you know, there was an option. You could have just said, okay, I'm going to cut down on how much I work.
I have,
Yeah, but you had to get sick first, right?
right, true.
That's all right. I just so, but Melanie, you seem to have it pretty good that way. I noticed that you will work, and then the next thing I see is pictures of you on the beach. So you seem to have got that into balance.
That is perfect.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yes, I'm a little more balanced. Before I was all work, work, work. Then when I first came here, I couldn't work really because I had to find work. Right?
Yeah.
But it was at the same time, I think it was part of what was supposed to happen. I was supposed to slow down and look after myself a bit more.
Well, you've lost you've lost like 3 sizes, right?
Yeah, 30 kilos.
Yeah, that's pretty
I
cool.
had no idea until I actually weighed myself. I was like, oh my God, okay.
Well, it doesn't show. I mean, it didn't show that you were 30 kilos heavier.
But maybe, but she's not very tall.
Yeah, I'm actually I'm almost 5'8", so
Oh, you are tall.
I'm pretty tall.
That's
Okay,
pretty
so-
tall.
No,
Yeah. I used to be 5'9".
I used to. Oh, did it compress? Like
Yeah,
back-
after
You
I
do
had,
tend to shrink as you get older. Your
well,
bones.
after I had my knee surgery, I lost 1.5 inches. So I'm a like 5'7" and a bit now.
So you were like what, 5'9", 5'10"?
I was 5'9". My kids are all 5'11" and a half, 5'12", 6 feet. Well, except for Danny, she's only 5'7".
Yes, I'm actually the shortest one in my family too. I don't know what happened. My sisters are all 5'9", 5'10". Even
Well,
my
that's
dog.
unusual for French Canadians, isn't it?
Well, it's our indigenous.
Yeah, I guess
and
that's true. They would be
heritage.
taller.
Yes.
what happened to me? I'm 5'4".
The tallest one in my family was my uncle, my mother's brother, and he was 6'8".
Wow.
He was very, very tall man.
I had a cousin that was about that height. I don't know what he's like now because he's older than me, but so that's pretty cool. With Canadians, we've got that Celtic blood in us. Got a lot of tall in us.
Yes, Irish, Celtic, Irish, Scottish, tend to have tall people as well.
Yeah, Norwegians. The Celts went from Germany up and around to Ireland. It was a huge area that the Celts actually were in, or this. So I think most people think the Celts were just the Brits, but there were a lot. It was a huge thing until the Roman Empire came in and did their number. So, okay, we've been on for 41 minutes. Anybody got anything else to add or anything?
This is gonna be one of the shortest video or lives you've ever done.
You know what? I'm not. That's because I'm getting a sinus headache, sinusitis, and that's when my brain is not functioning, and I can always find things to talk about, but right now my brain is going, ah.
That is very true.
I think a lot of people are getting foggy brain too lately.
Yeah, yeah, that too. And I'm going, I don't like that because of my age. It makes it look like other things, and I'm no.
It's funny how we question these things as we get older, right? Is this part of age, or is this the way it's supposed to be, right?
I have never been able to remember names, and I'll lose words all my life. But but now now I get it more so I worry about it not because I know this is normal for me, but other people don't know that it's normal for me because of the gray hair, right?
I like it because you can blame it on that.
Oh, yeah. I'm like my mother, I've got a little bit of pride when it comes to my intelligence. Maddie, you had something you were going to show. What was it?
Yeah, I'm just for the full moon tomorrow, so all the names. So it's called the pink moon.
Pink moon.
Yes, because that's when all the flowers start to
Oh, the cherry blossoms.
pink moss and the phlox.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember this from last year.
Asia, it's called the peony moon because that's when their flowers, peonies, start growing.
I don't think we're going to see peonies this year.
The budding moon, the sprouting moon, sprouting grass moon, the moon of the blackberry. I think I'm going to have to go buy myself a new speaker or something because it seems to be giving feedback or something, is it?
When you get close, it does
Yeah, so
a little bit. Sounds a bit tinny.
I've been backing up.
Yeah.
It's called the flower moon. For the Apaches use it called the moon of the big leaves to indicate how trees are flourishing. The Celts called it the budding moon, the new shoots moon, the seed moon, and the growing moon. So there's, like I said, there was a ton of names for this new moon. It's also called the sugar maker moon because, of course, the maple syrup comes through.
I like that moon.
The
I
plant
used to go to them all the time.
We're starting to get their seeds together. Sorry, I have that little pain in the butt, Charlie, banging on my door.
What do the
He has her so well trained, doesn't he?
extremely. I wanted to ask Melanie about.
Well, I put a door knocker on there, and he hits that when he wants to come in.
Smart cat. So, Melanie, I wanted to ask you about your grandmother, right?
Yes.
Can you tell a little bit about what a grandmother is? And I know the rest of us can be grandmothers too, but this is a different kind of grandmother.
A grandmother is not just, for example, to your own grandchildren, like blood related. It's also the responsibility of giving the younger generation knowledge or advice if they come to you to ask questions or how to learn things. It's a teaching. It's a teaching of ceremonies, teaching of the stories that we pass on, but also caring for another person as if they were your own
It's also a political. Statement, isn't it, nowadays?
Yes. We have the grandmother keepers that are water keepers, for example, that advocate to keep our water clean, with the pipelines and etc. With the government. So, and that is the grandmothers, and it is the women that advocate for that mainly because we're so closely related to the water as mothers and in our childbearing years. We it is related where we come of water.
So I'm gonna put you on the spot. I see this happen because I remember you saying you're going to, the grandmother's supposed to go around the world and communicate this. And while you do that, are you sort of pulling other people in, other women in to continue the role in their own place?
Yes. Whatever I teach, that I practice, it's any woman can use that at home or with their children or their own family, or continue it on. I think that it's important knowledge for people to have, and for people to put into practice. It's the willingness of what the person does with that knowledge after, if it's used well for good, as long as it's used for good and not for profit, then it's a good thing. And that's what the intent, it's the intention. Everything is as an intent. So it is the intent that you put behind it, and it is what you do with that knowledge that's important. I'm still teaching people in Canada. Every Saturday I have people who want to learn ceremony to do at home themselves.
Do they have to be Native American or Métis?
No, I don't just do it for people who are Métis or Indigenous. I do it for everybody. Typically, there are, well, for certain types of ceremonies, you have to have a certain permission for. But the ones that I pass around and give knowledge, it's not, I don't need permission for that, for those types of ceremony. It is encouraged, and I think that it's a choice too. Some people would have to ask the 7 chiefs or the 7 nations for a specific requirement, for example, but not in the case of the grandmother teachings. Grandmother teachings are for everybody.
For mankind.
Yes.
Okay, so if somebody wanted to reach out to you and take these classes, how would they reach out to you?
It would be by email.
Or you're on Facebook too, right?
I am on Facebook. There's a lot of Melanie Brunet. There's quite a few of us.
Okay, well, you can also reach out to me and I can introduce you as well.
Exactly.
So
yes, and I'm available to anybody who wants to learn and put into practice. With ceremony is very important for everybody.
How long is this? How long is the session that you do on Saturdays?
Right now, I'm doing 2 hours.
Wow.
2 hours. Well, it's because it depends on the amount of people. If it's a group or individual, it depends if there's questions. It depends, because it's not just about the ceremony, but we also get to know each other. Because the ceremony that I teach, it's a connection is formed as well with the other person. It is called the grandmother role for a reason, meaning I can see you 10 times, but if you come back and see me in 20 years from now, I'm still your grandmother. So there's still that connection that's built. Yeah. It's kind of like when I did birth ceremonies, those babies that I did birth ceremonies for are connected to me. So if that child grows up and has questions for me in 15 years and they seek me out, I don't seek them out. They have to come see me. And they have a question or a certain need, then I am going to be available for that child. Doesn't matter.
Well, and I believe in something like that, you and them have a spiritual bond.
Yes.
Right? It's there within their being.
I've heard
right?
some of the names that Melanie hears, and they're beautiful names. Absolutely deep touches the soul. And you can name other people too, right?
Yes. Yes.
It's just not something that is for newborns.
No, I got my name in clan and I was an adult. It's for whoever seeks it.
So and also again, if you're interested in this, you can reach out to Melanie I don't think Elle knows your email address, but we'll put it in.
You
Can
want
you
me to?
put it into Messenger, and I will.
I don't even know my own email. Hold on.
Well, you don't have to email yourself very often.
I know I have to look. Okay.
No, and I will send it to Elle, and Elle can put it in there because I don't do very good on that sort of thing yet. So, but this is something that this is the way we create community, right?
And
Okay.
it's important. It's a sense of belonging too for everybody.
Now, can you
Knowing
send it to
Connection.
me? Because it's too fast for me to put it up.
Oh, it went up.
Oh, no, but it would.
Oh, it went, I
put
guess,
it in-
just between us four.
I want to put it, I can't, it's too fast for me to write it down. I want to put it into the, so send it to me on Messenger.
Okay. Where did I? I'll do that after.
Oh,
I'll send it to
okay.
you because
Okay.
I do not know where I put my phone and my. Oh, there it is. It's right in front of me.
I'll send it to her.
Okay.
You sending it, Maddie?
Yep.
Okay, that's good. And then I'll send it. Are you sending to me or Al?
You.
Okay. Yeah, it's just because I think this is something that creates community, and I think it's something that now is the time to move it forward. And if you stop and think about it, somebody my age can learn their spiritual name, and it's a brand new baby. So I think that's rather important right now. Okay, Maddie.
He's banging on the door again.
Yeah.
There you are. Can you put that into the group? No. Thank you. Elle's going to put it into the group. So Jennifer, she has a question that I think is good. She says, do you see any changes happening in the United States soon? I know the energy is different in every state in this country. Yes, it is. Some of the states are going to grow faster than others. And for some reason or other, the Carolinas, as I've said before, that's huge. Something's focusing around the Carolinas. I don't know exactly what. Do I see things changing? I don't think I think they're changing as fast as the energies are changing in the United States. Will you see them? Will you see them as soon as you'd like? Well, there's an old saying, when you want things to change, you have to wait for the old guard to die. So part of it is yes, they will die and move on. And part of it, people are going to do some really dumb things. And one of the dumb things is, I know there's a lot of Trump haters out there, but one of the really dumb things is that they're going to they're supposed to arrest Trump on Thursday. If they do that, it's going to create a huge rollover, and people are going to push back. So yeah, things may change.
And there's a lot of conflict with Mexico at the moment too.
Mm-hmm. Well, right now you have the war between the federales and the
Cartel.
and the drug cartels, right?
Yes.
Unfortunately, the federales happen to be FBI, but no, I have seen a lot of comments lately about how Mexico, the Americans came in, and they don't say anything. They say, well, this is what Mexico border used to be. This is what it is now, and they don't have to say anything because it's obvious. So, and they're even there's there's a back and forth push even between Canada and the US. So yeah, things are shifting and changing, and the more volatile it is, then you can guarantee that volatile energy is going to shift things faster. Will it be good? I think we're going to see some very negative things before it gets positive, unfortunately, because again, you have to see the old guard die before the new guard can come in. And Tati says, my dreams have been vivid and strange lately. When will the energies be less chaotic?
I would tell Titi to actually write down her dreams, because it could be, especially when they're vivid, there could be messages in there.
I think I think so. And you said that you have a lot of dreams. I've even been dreaming. I don't remember them, but I remember I'm dreaming, which I don't usually do. I know Maria is having a lot of dreams and things like that as well. So I think what she is like you, she's a dreamer, right? And her dreams are very, very telling, as like yours are. And I know your dreams, when you tell me, they're highly spiritual. So dreaming is becoming one of the more, coming to the forefront as one of the seer events. Okay, so Melanie's address is there if you want to meet her directly. And she's a good person, easy person to talk to. I can tell you this from experience. She's very open-minded and very
Bubbly.
Lovely.
Okay, and Jennifer says, I agree, it is causing a lot of division and hate, which is what they want. Resting him will cause the chaos the cabal wants. Not, I think it'll cause the chaos that the cabal doesn't want. I think they're hoping it will, but I've noticed every time the cabal does what they want, it backfires really badly. We're at the end of a cycle right now. It's an 80-year cycle. The end of the last cycle was ended when the Second World War ended. And the cycle before that ended was also very bloody and full of bad energy. I can't remember exactly what happened. It was in the 1800s. So we're having, technically, under the table, the West is at war with China. It's not declared yet, but it's so close. You don't know how close. So there have been, usually at the end of these cycles, there's a lot of deaths, but we are having a lot of deaths. The Ukraine, the famines and things like that. So whether it'll be out and out war,
earthquakes and volcanoes and
yeah, there's a lot of death happening. So that indicates we're coming to the end of this cycle. The end of the cycle is 2028. I think 2025 we might start to see an easing off. I'm rather hopeful. But I don't know enough about these cycles to go beyond saying this is what I'm getting and this is what I feel. And I feel, even though it's harsh, I think we're working towards its shift and a change. Okay, so Tati had a dream about jumping timelines. I did end up writing that, which is happening all the time. And we call it the Mandela effect, right? And sometimes the time shifts are really good. It seems that my timeline is shifted over to somebody else's timeline because half the things they're talking about, I'm going, no, it didn't happen that way. So, but yeah, and ultimately, there's something called looking glass, and that's something that the Americans did, where they would this thing, and they would go back in time. And they used to send the kids back in time because it was easier for the kids to go back than the adults. But they also went forward in time. And one thing that happens consistently, never changed, they get to a certain spot in time, and whatever they had done to try to manipulate the energy or shift it, it always ended up exactly the same way. I think we're coming to that time very rapidly, next few years. So all the things that we're afraid of, it's going to right itself right now. It's just going to right itself. That doesn't mean we should sit back and just let it happen. We need to be the warriors.
I was going to say you need warriors to lead the way to make that happen.
Yeah. And Maddie said this was the warrior. I think you said it was the warrior moon, right? And it doesn't matter who you are, what color you are, what beliefs you are. We all need to be warriors. You can be Hindu, you can be Sikh, you can be English, you can be French, you can be Catholic. We need to be warriors. And we're for our warriors. Okay, I work with the vivid dream and connect what I learned from them on my daily life. I've been doing spiritual work in my dreams more lately. Yes. And that's another reason we come back tired, is because we go into the dreams and we either are teaching or we're learning. And that's why 3 o'clock, they call it the triad sleep. You wake up at 3 o'clock, you don't get back to sleep until it's time to wake up. It's because we're kicked out of our dreams because what we're doing in the energies is so intense that if we stayed in them, it would fry our brains. And so we get kicked out. So yes, so a lot of people have the triad dreaming. Me, I just wake up every 2 hours.
So I've just got this, just came up. It says the Aries new moon is here in 48 hours. I thought it was here tomorrow. And will be life-changing. This is the beginning of many romantic relationships. You'll get the courage to overcome old challenges and release the past. The moon arrives 24 hours after the March equinox, so expect major transformation and growth.
So and what I keep telling people right now, if you can surf and keep your head above water or energy, you're doing really well. Pat yourself on the back. Because right now, I don't care who you are, whether you're the most spiritual person on the earth or the least spiritual person on the earth, it's hard. So just pat yourself on the back, grab hold of somebody's hand with their up and you're down, and hang on, or vice versa. Jennifer says, thank you for the hope you share for all the warriors that want freedom. We are succeeding even if it's slower than we want. It's always slower. Have you ever met a spiritual light worker that has patience? I have not met somebody with patience yet. But yeah, we are going to succeed. Well, A, we don't have a choice. And B, we don't have a choice. So what's the name of a what's a warrior? What's the definition of a warrior for you, Melanie?
Bravery, courage, truth, protection. Yeah.
Giving.
There's a lot that goes into it. Like, we have warrior codes.
That's why I asked you, because I know you've got the idea already.
Yeah, we have warrior codes for our little ones that come out, warriors, and they have those names that they do carry too. And this is to always serve your community and protect, to be just, because to be a warrior is not just like, oh, let's go attack people for fun. No, it's very serious very serious business. But it's respect, and we talk a lot about honor, but the honor itself is in the respect that it's given to others, because we don't take lives without offering respect. For example, if we go hunting, right, and what we hunt, we have to offer there's respect, and then we offer thanks, and then so everything is connected. So warrior has big responsibilities, and we all have it in us.
Do they have to, is it generally thought of as a male energy and the women are something else, or?
No, it's actually because we we see male female as one. We don't really separate the genders. It's, for example, when our warriors go out to fight for a cause, for example, they have to ask. It is chief that gives the chief but it is the women, it is the grandmothers, that the clan mother that gives the okay. So
So there's respect around the everywhere.
It is the woman that gives the go ahead, or that sends the warriors out.
That makes sense, because a woman will see things different than a man.
Different perspective, but also because these warriors come from mothers. So as mothers and grandmothers, if we're to lose one of our warrior during some sort of fight, for example, and we know that the cost is great,
It is
loss, especially for mothers.
You lose that genetics, you lose that the love, you lose the provider, you lose that which you've born, the memories,
Knowledge.
Yeah.
Even though we believe that death is not death, it's only the beginning. That's why we never say goodbye. We say see you later. It's hard on the human spirit, the human that is on earth, to lose a warrior.
If we were meant to just die wiggly piggly, then we wouldn't have that genetic strive to stay alive.
Exactly.
I mean, it's genetically imprinted in us, so there's a reason for that.
Yes, and if everybody remembered their past lives, maybe not all of them would want to come back.
Well, that's why they say that's why we don't remember.
Yeah.
I think though the young ones that are coming in, they remember. Watson remembers, right?
What you were talking about reminds me of what I sent you last night, Eliz-Sha, about Ceres, the Earth Mother.
I remember you sent me something I thought was really cool.
It says it's intriguing that Earth Mother Ceres is a potent element to this new moon, especially regarding embodiment. The universal synergy never ceases to amaze me. Ceres represents the flow of the seasons and always the potential for harvest. In the Greek and Roman mythology, she journeyed through the loss of her daughter, subsequent grief, and lack of control over her experience to discover her true evolutionary role and purpose. That purpose took form in ancient Greece through the Eleusinian mysteries, rites of passage that embrace death and darkness as necessary aspects of the life cycle that ensured a deeply rooted new beginning.
Eleusinian fields, it's the fields of death, basically. Yeah. Well, what we're doing, whether it's 2023, I lost 23 years, or one AD, we're still doing the same cycles of time and energy. So it makes sense. And hopefully we're ending them. So we're going to go into new mythologies, new catalysts. Like instead of, I don't know, like my spiral tarot that has the Emperor, and it's too hard to find in a quick, but the Empress. So maybe we'll change that and it'll be something else. I don't know whether it will or not, but there's a lot of things shifting and changing. I believe positive, and I know this is something I hang on to too. I know that there's a prophecy of 1,000 years of the golden age we're moving in. So if that, in that case, yes, everything is going to be really, really good. Will we be around to see it? I don't know.
We may just be the warriors who make it happen, though. And that's an honor as well.
We are, and do we want to come back? I'm not 100% sure I want to come back. I know that this guy said, you're all coming back, but I'm going, I'm not sure I want to. But
Oh, I hear want to or not, we're all coming back.
yeah. Well, I think we have a choice. But but right now there are a lot of people dying, and when I hear that, I feel badly. But
What I would like to know is why is it all our kids? In the last week, I think I've had 3 friends that their child has died also.
Because they want to come back to the life, the good. They want to come back and help the new years coming in, the new stuff coming in. And there are a lot of young people dying, but there are a lot of people period dying, and it's because they want to come in and usher in the new year, new world. We're ushering out the old world. They want to usher in the new world, and it won't fully be ushered in until another 50 years, 40 years. So unfortunately, I don't think I'll be around for that, but I'm okay. I can see it from on high. So we have been on now for a good length of time. I think this is a good time to pull it. Do we have anything we want to say?
Revel in the newness and embrace spring and growth and warrior on.
And just be strong. Be strong throughout all of this energies, because it's not a good ride.
Sometimes. Melanie?
Self-care and self-love.
And this is what I've been telling everybody lately. Laugh. Find some reason find humor. That is the best medicine. That will get you off when you feel like you're down, flatten out, find something to joke about. And in our house, we have a dog that does idiotic things and makes us laugh. Maddie has Charlie, makes us laugh. And find anything that makes you laugh. Okay, and that with that, let's call it a night. Thank you, ladies. This has been great.
Have a good night.
Thank you all.
Bye. Namaste.